How y'all doing? Sitting in here in an old work truck, out in the parking lot at work, on break. There's a couple things really one thing, just on my mind, just want to get it on out there. I'm not much on politics or this side or that side. I mean, God be the glory. Whoever he sets in power is up to him. He's given the responsibility to the people to vote. God is in control of the vote, and whom he sees he needs up there for whatever purpose, he'll sit there. So we're to pray for all our authorities. So if the authority that be we don't necessarily agree with, we're still to respect the authority. When Pharaoh had Israel in captivity for all those years, and God sent Moses to speak to Pharaoh and to get the people ready, because he was supposed to deliver them. Now, when he said that, he didn't tell Moses go in there with the sword and raise up an army, a rebellion, and start slandering the ruler who had him in slavery, or being disobedient, or anything. He simply went in with diplomacy, told them the truth, that God has called them to have a feast in the wilderness and make sacrifices unto God, let my people go. And then Moses left it unto God to do the judging, to handle Pharaoh. And then, of course, Pharaoh hardened his heart. Of course, God hardened his heart as well to show his power, because Paul said he raised Pharaoh up for this purpose, that he could show his power and might and glory. So not once did God tell Moses to rebel against the authority that had his own people in slavery. Then when Israel was in slavery again under Nebuchadnezzar, whom God sent to take his people captive, by the way. That's in Jeremiah. God told his people not to rebel. He told them to build houses, plant vineyards, do good, even pray for the peace of the city that you are in, of your captors, so that you too may have peace. And when, of course, he never told his people to rebel against them. And matter of fact, Jeremiah talks about the false prophets who were talking about a rebellion, talking about that they were fixing to leave and all this. And Jeremiah said, you're a bunch of false prophets. God didn't say that. God said after you've done your time, then and only then will I release you through a authoritative way from the authority that's over you. I will send you back to your homeland. And when Nebuchadnezzar did get out of line and started boasting of his own glory, then God, not Israel, humbled him. Sent him into the wilderness like a wild beast. I think it was for 7 years or something like that. Until he realized that God, actually this is in Daniel, that God rules in the kingdom of men and sets up in it whomsoever he pleases. Then Paul, when he was in front of the Pharisees and the high priest, whom he didn't know was the high priest, the rulers came in, and the religious rulers came in, whom Jesus had preached against. And Paul spoke, and then the religious authority told the man next to him to strike Paul in the mouth. Then Paul said, you whitewashed tomb, you order me to be stricken contrary to the law, you're sitting here judging me on the law, you hypocrite, whatever. And then one of the Pharisees said, you dare speak to the high priest that way? And Paul, it's important to pay attention to this, Paul immediately retracted. He did not understand. He said, I'm sorry, brothers, I did not know that he was the high priest, for it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. These biblical examples that we have are written for our learning, our admonition, to understand that it is God who is in control at all times. Whether the ruler be good, whether the ruler be bad, God is able to put down and rise up whomsoever he pleases and sets him in the seat of authority. Now, does that mean we agree with everything the ruler does? No, of course not. But we have to respect the authority. Go about things the right way, in a godly way. Not slandering them on Facebook or fighting and rebelling against and disrespecting in the Senate and trying to get them thrown out because you disagree. Or, I mean, if the authority has done wrong, then go through the proper procedures with the proper evidence, and if it is valid, then God will take care of it. Or if there's not enough evidence and the ruler's corrupt anyway, and he gets acquitted, then God will have judgment. Or he may be withholding judgment for his own purposes. Sometimes that's because of the transgression of his people. Sometimes God will raise up a harsh ruler over his people who have become complacent, ungodly, idol worshippers, whatever it may be. We must be careful how we speak against those whom God has set up. Am I saying go vote for the president? No, I'm not. We have the ability to vote whatever president we want to in, and God be the glory. He can raise him up or put him down, or her, or whatever. Like I said, I'm not taking sides. The only side I am taking, not Republican, not Democrat, is Christian. Us Christian brothers and sisters should set a godly example that we have from Genesis to Revelation on how we are supposed to relate and be under submission to the God-given authority. Whether we believe they are God-given or not, if they are in authority, we need to show them reference, because they bear not the sword in vain. Render honor to whom honor is due, custom to whom custom, taxes to whom taxes. So just try not to be in rebellion against authority. Or 1 Peter says that, or 2 Peter, I don't know. Peter says that when an authority is in power, you are to be submissive to them, whether they be harsh, good, or whether they be bad. And Paul said we are to pray for all those in authority, for kings and all. So, that's our biblical example. We should try to follow it to the best of our ability. Make sure we don't slander, gossip, speak negatively. If you have some truth to put out there, by all means, put the truth out there with respect, honor, and love. Not slandering one side or the other, this or that. Pray for all authority, that they would turn their hearts unto God. Because God did say in Proverbs that God turns the hearts of kings like the rivers of water. Prayer is a powerful force. The prayers of a righteous man availeth much, or woman. Be in prayer for our authorities, for we need them to follow Christ. God bless you, brothers, and thank you. Amen.